7.1.1 has arrived along with Galactic Season 3. We'll take a first look at the update and the new season, which we have kicked off. That and more on this episode of the SWTOR Escape podcast from newoverlords.com. Our broadcast astromech today is, of course, EPC 443.
Of course.
I don't know why I said of course. And with me is my co-host, Seema, of course. Hi, Seema. And of course, how is it going?
Well, of course it's going great because we did get, last couple of weeks I've been saying that I was looking forward to Galactic Season 3, and now we have it 2 days late, but still, 2 days late is not that late.
It is
And,
not when I predicted it would be, which would have been 5 minutes after the podcast this week.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, they did do it on a Thursday, which I appreciate. And so they did it seriously. We have time if we wanted to do 7 weekly things this week.
Yeah.
As well. So that's good. That's all goodness. So we're going to talk a little bit about at a high level Galactic Seasons. We'll go more into it next week when we've had more of a chance to play with it. Although I do have, as you do too, probably, Faye, the new companion. So I did enough Galactic Seasons today to get her, which isn't very. You just have to do one level.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Pahalanix.
She has a pretty impressive backstory. I recommend reading it as you go through. She's looking for a challenge, and she thinks that she's going to find it being my companion. I hope she's not disappointed. I'm afraid she might be disappointed, though.
She's also pretty cool. Her eyes in particular were part of where, I really like what they did there. The shading and the textures. She almost has like stars in her eyes. There's so much depth. The rest of the model is definitely very
her little core unit.
Yeah.
It's always animated. Calculating. Always be calculating.
ABC. Always be calculating.
Right. So that's today, and also today we had our ops team, which we were missing a person, so we did the 2 world bosses on Ha so that we could do that for Galactic Seasons.
Yep.
And then we went and did like a fun run in Dread Fortress, which was a relaxing way to spend the evening because we were missing a healer, so we couldn't really easily slot one. And we did get a healer, but then that was Zen, who I was really looking forward to playing with Zen for old time's sake. We used to ops together.
Yeah.
But he ran into download problems because he's in the.
Yeah, I think he got the new client, and for whatever reason, even though it's not supposed to do this, it did download the entire client for him. So, and over Australia internet, it wasn't that fast. So he was still.
Not that Australia has inferior internet. It's just that the servers are far away from Australia.
Yeah, and and whatever his service maybe wasn't the fastest.
Right. So that didn't work out. So we had 7 people. So then we went and did Dread Fortress, which it's been a while really since we did Dread Fortress. So that was fun. MFN this week was just a combination, was similar. We did like world bosses and rampages, and we talked about movies and food or movies and food or whatever is on people's minds really in sort of pop culture. So it's really a fun evening. I invite everyone to give it a shot.
Yes.
How has your week been, Max?
My week has been great. We had extra stuff popping for behind the games, and I've got some extra work to do to get the episode out that's going to go out this week. We had one recording session. We had a second recording session that actually got postponed, which is fine because we have 2 more next week, and now we have another one the week after that. So we're going to have a bunch in the pipeline. Yep. Some fun stuff. I'm doing another one special edition of my tech podcast tomorrow, actually, for emerging tech fun in fitness, like biking and triathlons and running, with a friend of mine.
And you weren't expecting to do another episode. You were going to call it a season 1.
Well,
yeah.
And I think I still am, but I'll do special editions like this periodically in the in-between parts between the seasons. So busy week with that fun stuff. Busy week in games also, trying to I logged in, but I didn't do what I wanted to do to just to get ready for World of Warcraft because 7.1.1 came and I've had a ton to do in Star Wars. So
Yes.
so far I've been doing Galactic GSF. I finished the weekly in GSF, but I still have to do another. I think I need one more match to finish the conquest, the Galactic season objective. I've finished, I think, just like 3 or 4 of the objectives so far. I want to make sure, and we'll talk about again how it works, but I like to focus on the Galactic season objectives that give you 12 points instead of 8 points. So out of the 7, there's 3 or 4 that give you 12 points and not 8. I want to fill it up with those 12-point ones first and then fill in the gaps with the 8-point ones. It's not really that big a deal, but that actually gets you a little bit further each week in the Galactic season ranks. So that's what I've been going after. Killing the world bosses, as Seema said, that we did tonight. That's a 12-point objective. Completing Galactic seasons, or completing the GSF. Uh, Completing 6 matches where wins count as 2. So relatively not too rough. That counts as 12. And the flashpoint ones, which work a little bit differently. We're still trying to figure them out, but those count as 12 also. So we'll talk about that in the segment as well. So that stuff. Oh, and then the only other update is my Galactic Season 2 rewards that I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast last week or only in the post, but I think I'm pretty sure I lost. I know because actually I got confirmation from customer support. I lost almost every single reward from Galactic Season 2. I completed Galactic Season 2. I pulled a couple things out. I pulled like 3 or 4 things out as I was going, like the first mount and Fenziel. And then I left everything else in the season. And then at the end of the season, I let it all go to the mailbox because I was fine with that. And then I didn't expect, because I've never had a system mail from the game expire ever
expire.
before.
Yeah.
They all expired and disappeared. So I said, ouch. I submitted a ticket and I got a reply like within 24 hours. And the customer service person said, hey, here's my name. Here's what I'm working on. I saw you did pull a couple things out. Can you try to verify the things that are actually lost? And I'll take a look on my end as well. So we're going back and forth a little bit. It sounds like I'm going to get some help to at least get, especially those things that should be in collections. And it's pretty obvious. I've got all the achievements. They can see that I did complete the season, and they can see the stuff is not, it's nowhere on my account. They'll be able to fix me up. I don't submit a lot of tickets, maybe, I've maybe done 2 in my life. So I'm not wearing them thin. So I don't mind in a situation like this. It would be fun to have those rewards. And I was even clear. I said in the email, the only thing in collections that I'm not eligible for is the Fenziel Outlaws customization, because I did not complete, even though it's completed now. I didn't want there to be a mistake and them see that the rep was completed and think that I should have gotten it, and then I would have felt bad getting something that I shouldn't have gotten.
Right.
So I said, don't give me that.
But I was just going to say too, on the mail issue and our expectation that system mail lasts forever, because we have seen that, right? We've experienced that. And there isn't any, at least in my case, because I also lost stuff in the mail. I haven't actually sat down and thought about what I would do about it, but I know that there was no like icon that started to turn red or start, like this said, 5 days left, 4 days left, 3 days left. There's nothing like that. It was just like when they went to season 3,
Is
the
that
mail
what it
was
was?
wiped out.
They just like disappeared? Is that what happened?
I Well, did you see anything?
No, but I don't check my mail all that often. I just leave, I have characters that have like hundreds of mails, and I just leave it up there, and I never bother to check them. So I don't know. I didn't know if it did or
Well,
didn't.
maybe I yes, I don't think so. I mean, because I would have gotten them first of all, the mail would come to a character that you do log in, right?
Yep.
Because that's how you
And
that's how
I'm
they
almost positive they were on my mercenary because I did look at them. Um,
right.
but yeah, I would. You're right. I think I would have noticed,
And
but
I even though I don't like put the contents of every mail message, I don't put it into my inventory. I do tend to like click it so it's not new anymore, and then I would see when there's new mail.
yeah, yeah. So
I don't know. I don't know. I'm undecided about what I'm going to do because I feel like I don't want to do the work of sitting down and saying what should I have gotten and what do I not have.
well,
So
one thing you could do, just as the baseline is, you completed everything. Look in collections. You should have everything except the Outlaws customization for Fenzil in collections. Maybe not unlocked for your legacy, but at least unlocked on one character.
yeah, but what if I did get it and I put it in one of my characters'
Well,
banks?
you would
Do I
be
log in
able to.
all 40
No.
characters and
Oh. Oh. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Because some of the stuff is in there. You're right. You said. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah. Well, I mean, how many times do you log in all 40 of your characters anyway, looking for something? I mean, so next time you do, and next you
Yeah.
go on some hunt,
Yeah.
also hunt for this stuff and check it
I
off the
mean,
list.
to be honest though, what I do is I start to log in all my characters to look for something and I then run out of steam and I go, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have very low tolerance for log in, log out type
Yes.
activities.
It is a
That's
lot of
why it's
characters,
hard for
yes.
me to do cruise crew skills because I'm like I do them on one character, I do them on second character, and then I don't feel like I log into the first character again to start them up again and the second character again, and I'm like,
Eh.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Exactly.
This is why I'm not the mega rich in the game.
Um, so yeah, that's what we've been doing. Let's I was thinking, are we done with the news? No, we haven't started the news. Let's talk about the news.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
So first up in the news, I figured I would bring this news item up and even show it off. This news item with the show gear as outfit has been biting multiple people, myself included. So I finally got to playing with the outfitter today. I switch over to the outfitter screen, and we'll go into detail on all the things you can do with the outfitter screen. But this bug in particular, when it seems like none of your outfits work, there's a checkbox at the top that says show gears outfit. You need to uncheck that for the outfits to actually work. Jackie confirmed that it shouldn't actually be working that way, and it shouldn't like lock you out of all of your outfits and make it seem like nothing's working there.
I mean, it
Um,
doesn't actually lock you out of
no,
your
no, you just
yeah.
uncheck it and everything works
Anyone
fine.
yeah.
But
It's just
she also
a
said we'll
weird
just
it's a
smooth it
funny
out.
thing to make it as a default, yeah.
Yeah, which is nice. So they will smooth that experience for us.
So I was nervous about the outfitter thing. So what I did when I logged in on Tuesdays, I logged into one of my characters that I don't normally play. Um, and it turned out to be a character that I was leveling, and at one point I had the XP gear on her, which I don't right now. So she had so as soon as I clicked on outfits, she didn't even have her gear because like she wasn't
Mm,
wearing any gear.
right.
Her outfits what was keeping her from walking around in her undies.
Mm,
But yes, then I remembered in Discord, someone had said, Sten had said, or Medulla had said to Sten, or somebody said to uncheck that box, and yeah,
yeah.
then they all come back.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had forgotten that they had said that. So then when I logged in this morning, I
I mean,
redid it myself. I was like, what's the trick
I
to?
can see where they arrived at making that the default, right? Because if you're a brand new character and you equip your gear, then that's the only thing that can show, and you want to make sure that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, I would still make it so that like, so when, when I brought up that window and then I like clicked 50 times on an outfit, maybe on like the 49th time,
They should make it so they can sense the angst of the player and then uncheck it
like here,
automatically.
because here's what it looks like. It's show gear's outfit, and then it's showing your gear, and I'm like, where's my outfits? And then I see all these things that just say outfit name, because I didn't change the names at that point in time. And then I'm like, click, 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 and nothing's happening. And I'm like, they're all broken. It's all broken because they're all grayed out. Also, I'm like, so what is going on? It's all broken, and then I'm asking in Discord. But then as soon as you uncheck this, then it all works. And so we'll
I
talk
mean,
about other stuff.
my outfits are like a house of cards too, because if I had to build them again, I don't know where those gear pieces are or what they
Right.
were in some cases.
Right.
You know,
Right. I mostly do, so I wasn't too burnt over it. But I mean, I've got weird outfits in here that
if it
I'm
was me,
sure
I
I
would
would
just
not
I would just make new outfits because I wouldn't
like.
I
What do I
wouldn't
got?
want to look through.
Oh, the
I
bounty
have
hunter
like
one.
7
Got the
tabs
pirate
of
one.
random gear in my
Where's
cargo hold.
this one? This is the one that I would never be able to recreate with the. This was our. How can you our costume contest for the most ridiculous outfit you can put together, and this this is what I came up with for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
stuff like that would be hard to
I don't know. I don't even
recreate.
know what these are, where this stuff came from, except the hut, the Taco Bell hat from the hut. Yeah. So that is that. Also in the news, obviously. I mean, I guess you can cover this, but not with the things that we already said, which is 7.1.1 is released.
Yeah. Right. Right. And we're going to talk about what's in 7.1.1.
So Galactic Seasons being delayed a day, that was part of the news. But one thing that people can go and just look at in the dev tracker, which will probably be continuing for the next little while, is as people find either what they think is a bug, because some of them aren't bugs, or they're doing it wrong, or what actually are bugs. There's a bunch of that discussion going on in the dev tracker that you can catch up with. In guild and community news, and this is broader community news also, next week is Total Galactic War. So conquest objectives. This is sneaking up on us again. At least we found, we noticed a week ahead of time and not at the last moment. But there will be a Total Galactic War, and those are the objective weeks that we typically, as a guild, try to potentially win a planet. You can always see what's coming up the next week. If you go to the Conquest tab in your quest log, it says next conquest under the time remaining on the current conquest week. And Machete, I think, noticed, hey, Total Galactic War next week. So we'll find a planet, we'll invade. I think everybody's going to be focused on other things like the new season, but we will probably still pick a potential planet. And if we get lucky going after it, good, all good. If anyone hears this before Tuesday and would like to get a new character in, you cannot contribute to Conquest within a week with a character that has not joined the guild before that week starts. So you need to put the characters in by Monday night for them to count on Tuesday. And tips that we've given out before, a nice way to get a lot of Conquest points is to level up new characters. So you don't get Conquest points until level 10. So we usually level the characters up to like level 9, and they're about to turn in stuff because, turn something in, go to like directly to level 11 or something, get a bunch of Conquest points. I usually push them to level 9, get ready, and have a couple like waiting in the wings to be able to contribute. And I know I have a couple on the Imperial side where we'll be doing stuff next week. If anyone would like to join and help us out and play, then aie-guild.org. You can find our Discord link in the upper right. Jump in our guild by Monday night. We'll get your characters invited, and we're going to do it on the Imperial side. So it's our Imperial guild next week. We switch back and forth. Imperial side, Total Galactic War. If we get clobbered by a big guild, oh well. If we have we have fun going after it, we're all going to be going after like Galactic Season stuff anyway and getting Conquest points that way. We'll see what happens. Happens. Shout out to the chat room. We got a pretty good crew in there tonight. Thanks everyone, helping us letting us know what they're already doing in 7.1.1. And we'll talk about a couple of things that already came up in the pre-show, like the unlock cost for things that's showing up in Legacy from Galactic Season 3 already. So thank you all for hanging out in there, and we'll talk to you a little bit after the show as well, as we always do. If you're listening to this recorded, Thursday nights we do it live. Do it live on twitch.tv/New Overlords around 10:30 p.m. Central. Otherwise, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, subscribe in all of those places. It helps us out. And with that, we can talk about the new season. I think they heard that I like gambling, Seema.
How can you close me up? On what ground?
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
You're winning, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody out at once.
So, I think they heard that I love the gambling so much they decided to make the entire Galactic Season 3 all about gambling.
Yeah.
I'm sure for whatever way that it will work out for me, I will not get everything or anything, and there'll be things that I'm not going to be able to get. Whatever if there's any RNG whatsoever, I will not be completing Galactic Season 3 because that's the way that works for me. But that's not the only thing. So we're going to talk about all of 7.1.1. We're only going to scratch the surface on Galactic Season 3 in particular because I think next week we'll do a deep dive on Galactic Season 3 and like everything and like the tips and tricks for doing the weeklies and the dailies and that kind of thing. But we'll tell you what we've done so far because we've kicked it off ourselves, started to do some of the objectives, but we'll also talk about, and why don't we kick it off, Seema, with, I think we've got it up here, the patch notes, the overview for 7.1.1 itself, which we did get on Tuesday. Yeah. So what's your favorite thing? Well, I think, it's probably going to be the same as mine. The Galactic Season is probably your number one.
Yes.
It is. Yeah, but
I'm excited about the outfitter changes too. It's a little bit rocky start because of what we just talked about. And then also Feast of Prosperity coming.
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed? We played, and I didn't even think to think. I've been playing this week. I haven't noticed the balance changes. Did you notice anything? You healed tonight. You single healed an entire operation.
Yeah.
So maybe we should have done R4.
Good... Yeah, that's right. Because I'm OP
R4.
now. Because we had the balance changes. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So that's interesting. We'll have to check that out. And we didn't get to do R4 because somebody was missing this week. Next week when we do R4, that will be a good test. We'll see how it feels when we do that and how we do when we do the first couple bosses in R4 that we're still working on.
It's been interesting for me recently because I've been healing in WoW and healing in Star Wars, and they're very similar, but they're subtly different. And the differences, even though they're subtle, make a big difference.
Yeah.
And in WoW, it's much more around conserving your mana and having it when you need it. And when you run out, it's pretty much gone. There's ways of regenning it, but it's way more like when you run out, it's gone, as opposed to
Innovate me, Druid.
As opposed to in Star Wars, The Old Republic, it's like if you manage it all along, it never runs out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's that, but then also in WoW, my heals are way bigger. So when you do your big heal, it'll it could do, like 25% of the tank's health or all of the health of one of the DPS.
Yeah.
Whereas, my big heals here,
it's 10%, and you just need to spam it over and over.
Right. So it's like the challenge is not about the resources, more about, where you put your heals and
it's sustaining.
Yeah. Right. And yeah, the 8-second cooldown on any kind of, removing dots and stuff in Star Wars makes some things challenging for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Yeah.
We'll definitely keep an eye on that. And if other people are out there and you're noticing the balance changes and getting a feel for it, in fact, I didn't even look at the forums, but we could check it in there, see if people are talking about it. Love to hear about it. How's the balance changes affecting you?
Yeah.
Chat room is talking about another fun bullet on this list, which you just mentioned, Seema, is Feast of Prosperity. So Feast of Prosperity is coming back. I think I saw SWTOR mention, and we can look, that there are new things coming for. Oh, I guess left this stupid outfit on. I didn't mean to keep it on. I gotta take that off. Let's look in the it would be collections for Feast of Prosperity stuff. I think there are new things coming for Feast of Prosperity. If they're not already in collections or we can't see them already, it might be things that I think we saw a note that there would be new interesting things coming for Feast of Prosperity, which I like, hearing that there will be new things. Events, holiday. I don't see anything here in collections. General. Let's look in Are there new achievements for Feast of Prosperity this year?
Oh my God, that outfit. I just
Yeah.
caught up to the stream. It's
a thing.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, I don't know if I won. We've had other costume contests. Oh, we got to think about that. Seema's got one of the best Halloween costumes in the game. That maybe we'll do something around that next week.
I have to find that. I think it's on the pub side.
Probably next week would be the 27th, which is the closest of our podcasts to Halloween. Maybe we'll make it a Halloween theme. Anyway, back on 7.1.1, Feast of Prosperity. I think there will be some new things to keep an eye out for. We've done episodes where we've talked about Feast of Prosperity. We'll probably do an episode on it again, just especially if we can talk about any of the new things. But the dailies are fun, especially because there's things you can and will need to do with a group. And with multi-tag, it's probably even going to be easier. Like going and killing Snowblind to get his whisker as an ingredient. That's fun. And then the little mini games that are part of the dailies, like you're the astromech and you're serving the tables. The kitchen prep one, I really like. That's one of my favorite. I like clicking on all the things. It's pretty straightforward and simple, but if you're doing it in hard mode, it's not that simple because they don't have any of the pop-ups and the tooltips. You just have to know what all the ingredients are in the whole kitchen. But it's still fun. It's still a fun little mini game. And that kitchen back there is pretty cool. So yeah, Feast of Prosperity. That will be interesting. Geburga and Duba, right? Duba and Geburga?
Totally. That's correct.
The good one and the bad one. Or as Seema says, no hut is a good hut. And I hate them all. She's hottest.
I believe what I said was I don't take them at face value.
The one is definitely good. The story, there's nothing. He's completely good in everything that he does, and the outcome at the end is that he's good. So I don't know why you still can't trust him. Seema never trusts a hut. That's what Seema says.
I don't know. Maybe I had a bad childhood.
So Feast of Prosperity, starting November 1st. Okay, that's also good to know, which will be a week from next Tuesday. Starting on a Tuesday, the day after Halloween. And it goes till so it's the entire month of November, pretty much. Goes till November 29th. Oh, and here's somewhere they said that there will be new rewards. Yeah, it says it right here. It's right here on the page that I'm staring at. This new edition of the Feast of Prosperity event comes with new rewards, such as the Gourmand's favorite weapon set, Duba and Geburga transport skiffs, and Feast Hollow Toy. There we go. New weapons. New weapon set. Cool. Cool. All right. Okay.
I like the idea of the new toy.
Yeah, there are some good toys, and the mounts have been good. So
yes, they have been.
If it's a transport skiff, I expect it to be the pleasure barge style.
Yes, I do too.
But maybe it'll be piled with food or whatever as part of the feast, which would be kind of fun.
Especially if you could give food out to like
like
as you
toss
drive
it out
through.
as you
Yeah.
go. Well, you can
Yeah.
do that food. There's the food fight emote where you throw then when you have like salad that is on somebody if you get hit by it.
You're right. Yes.
I end up with that on me all the time for whatever reason. People throw that at me throughout the year, all the time. I'm just like, oh, there we got salad on me. Delicious. All right, we're doing these a little bit out of order. We did balance changes. We did Feast of Prosperity. Collector's Edition vendor, which we talked about in detail, but that is now available. It's 2,000 coins in the cartel market, I believe. Let's confirm that right now. It gets you access to the VIP lounge if you don't have it already. And it gets you access to the vendor. It does not get you the old things that you were able to get for buying the collector's edition that were like the digital extras, like the flare gun and the that yellow crystal. But it gets you access to the vendor, which has all the cool things that we described already as part of it. And I'm almost positive.
Yep. 2,000 cartel coins.
There we go. Yep. 2,000 cartel coins. Just gets you access to that vendor. And if you don't already have it, which only costs 1 million credits, access to the elevator to get to the VIP lounge. Yeah, the mouse droid pet and the hollow dancer and the social
Selfie shooter.
Yeah, selfie. Yeah. There's a handful of things that, again, show up in mail for me on every character, and I leave them there.
And they never go away. Just
and
saying.
they never go away. So the expectation was that that kind of stuff would never go away. Increased rewards of daily resource matrices. The inflow of daily resource matrix has been increased to make them easier to obtain. Is that interesting to you, Seema? That is not interesting.
Oh, sorry. I was reading chat. What did you say?
I said daily resource matrix. They've made them easier to obtain. You can have more daily resource matrix.
I have not actually been that focused on daily resource matrices for a while now. So,
no,
next time I'm gearing up a character, I will be though.
Right.
So,
where we're at right now, if you're up to R4 and you're looking for R4 gear, you use many fewer of them than you have in the past.
Right. And I have like 900 of them right now. So
yeah, I've got 800.
In the beginning, we were spending them as you got 40 or 60, you would spend them because
right.
but it's not happening now.
Yeah, I'm not using
for me.
I'm like not using any of this stuff anymore. So tech frags I'm turning in now for I'm using this stuff for alts and I have to like force myself now to find an alt where I haven't like upgraded the relics. So or the implants. The legendary implants. I just upgraded 2 of my tank implants on my 1 tank to 330 today because I got capped on tech frags. So I spent a bunch. And I also bought an RPM component because I might craft myself one of those.
Yep. So like before ops tonight, I could not remember which character I was in the middle of upgrading implants for when I maxed out tag fragments, and so I just decided to go and spend them on. I bought an OEM and an RPM.
Yeah.
Even though I have I have gear goals because I just know I'm going to get tech fragments.
Right. I keep getting capped. I got capped on tech fragments this morning. I was capped, so I went and I upgraded the 2 legendary. I upgraded 2 legendary implants, and then I got up to I was like up to 9,000 out of 11,000 again by the end of the day, because I logged in some characters that had completed conquest, and I'm like
you were busy.
I'm back to it's back to like warning me that you're going to hit the cap when I just spent that time, so I had to go spend more. I also hit the cap on conquest commendations earlier today. I had to spend a bunch of those. Those you can spend for 50 each. You can get a bag of tech frags. So I was doing that. So then I got a bunch more tech frags out of my conquest commendations and spent those tech frags. And yeah, I'm at 800 to 1,200 on the resource matrices. I'm at 600 of 1,200 on the OP1 catalysts, which I'm not using at all because R4 gear doesn't use them. So yeah, not all that useful to have the increased daily resource matrices for us, but for people that are just getting their first character that's getting geared in that 330 range
It'll
or
be awesome
alts,
for them. Yep. Or
that's really,
alts, right?
yeah, that's good. This is one I meant to check, and we can check it live because I have not checked it yet. Manon Daily Area. Manon's invasion zone is now an invadable planet, so that's going to be relevant next week. It will be invadable. There will probably be a bunch of guilds competing for it because it's never been available before.
Mm-hmm.
So I would expect Sanctuary and what's the other one that invades everything these days on our
Royalty.
server? Royalty and Sanctuary are probably going to be duking it out over that. But they also said new conquest objectives have been added to the Manon invasion zone. Did you notice any of those new
No, but
conquest objectives?
I mean, even last week there was defeat enemies on Manon. I'm pretty sure because we went to Manon during MFN and did it.
Yep.
So I
Manon defeat enemies and Manon mission complete. Complete any mission on Manon.
And Manon
And
Weekly
Manon
Patrol.
Weekly Patrol.
But you can also because it's a conquest planet now. Well, I don't know if it's because it's a planet, but we can move the guild ship there now, which before you couldn't.
Ah, that'd be a nice little bit of a bonus. So people aren't familiar, when you park your guild ship over a planet, and then you have to pay like some nominal fee, you can turn on a little bit of a boost for characters that are out in the world, just doing dailies and missions on the planet. So yeah, that'll be fun. I wonder if they will have the a conquest objective week designed around Manon, because they've sort of made a big deal out of this. So like this week, because there's an event, it's Swoop Gang, Swoop Races. There's extra conquest objectives that are focused around Swoop Races. And well, actually, there should be. I'm not noticing them. But usually
wasn't that last week?
No, that's this week is Swoop Races. Remember we were doing it Tuesday? We were hanging around the tracks.
Oh,
Tuesday.
right. Yeah. And it wasn't happening.
Yep. Yeah, we went to the pirates were not happening, but the Swoop Races were.
Right.
But they have these themed weeks, and then they'll invent new objectives around the theme. So I don't know for sure if they'll do that, but now they can. There's an opportunity, and that would be fun if they did. All right, that brings us to Outfitter. So let's talk about the Outfitter. What have you done with the Outfitter so far, Seema?
Well, okay. Not a lot, other than to uncheck, your gear as your outfit button.
Yes.
But I haven't had any issues either. Oh, I did rename a couple of outfits. Like I renamed the first one to Outfit 1.
The ever popular Outfit 1.
I didn't know what to call it, but as several people have already commented, with a limited number of characters, 12 or whatever it is, it's hard to come up with a meaningful name.
Yeah.
Or more hard than I wanted to spend on it that day, so I just called it Outfit 1.
Yeah, the length of the name can only be 12 characters long. And a lot of people are complaining about that. That's showing up in the forums. People are saying, please make it longer. That's why my outfit, the only outfit I renamed, is named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2. Because I didn't know. I wanted to confirm that was the number of characters. And it is. So yes, that is quite short. You can't name, like I'm wearing like Mandalorian Seeker armor. You can't type out Mandalorian Seeker.
One thing I didn't try is that they have that button for, copying the outfit. I wonder if that means you don't have to, like for me, I wouldn't have to go back into my cargo hold and find all the items for that. If I could just like copy that to another slot without having the items.
I don't know, but
inventory.
now I'm afraid to click that button and like lose my current outfit or break something.
I'll experiment later when I can, pay better attention.
The other thing which sounded a little weird to me is the list is alphabetically sorted. So if you rename an outfit, it'll it'll be alphabetically sorted, and it'll potentially change its
Oh my gosh, that messes with me.
for one. For two, you can get around that a little bit with the favoriting. So the star next to the outfits will put the favorite outfits at the top alphabetically, and then all of the non-favorite outfits alphabetically below that. I think the way I typically get around that is I would probably name the outfits 01 dash Mando outfit, 02 dash other outfit, 0 or A dash B dash C dash.
Right,
So
if you wanted to keep your order.
if you want an order, if you want us to force an order. I do that all the time in lots of places. I do
Yeah.
that in file folders all the time. Usually start with a 0 because sometimes if you do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it'll go outfit 1, outfit 10, outfit 2, depending on their
Right.
sort algorithm.
Right.
So
right.
you do 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. And if you think you're going to do more than 99, then you need to do 001. So when I started the new podcast, when we started Behind the Games, for the folder structure and the file structure, I have 3 zeros and a 1 for episode number 1. Because we
right.
might do 9,900 and we might do more than 1,000 episodes. So I'm thinking big. We're thinking big. So sometimes you got to put 3 zeros in front of it. But I only did 3 zeros.
9,999 problems, but a podcast isn't one of them.
Well played. So that was one thing. What else did I have? I had a couple other things here in the notes. What else was bugging people about? Yeah, alpha order, star them. That show gear as outfit button, as I said before, that burnt me. I was, because you do this and still they
It
still
caught
like
ya.
gray out,
It
and I
caught ya. Yeah.
click, click, click. I'm like, nothing's happening. I think if you, I was saying maybe if you click like 17 times, it should automatically shut off the show as gear outfit button. Or if you click real hard, then it should shut it off for you. Otherwise, fun, useful tool. Nice way to organize it. The ability to favorite outfits, the ability to then, you can have these tons of outfits, and you can set the order then, these little tricks. You can give it a little bit of a name, so you can flip back and forth. I think for people that RP and, want to be changing outfits on the fly relatively quickly, that's kind of going to be a really useful little tool. I think it's good. I think it's a fine, nice little addition. I don't think what was this, the forum. The only thing in the dev tracker that Jackie's been able to respond to before is, feedback new outfitter ... not good. It's like, really? Is it really not good? No, it's not. It's not good. It's good. It's good. It's fine. There's a couple things. Yeah. So that's what this person put. Alethea, you did a great job in putting some of the bullet points to sort of follow up on, but yes, there's not enough characters for new outfit name. It would be nice if there was more. The order of the outfits is totally screwed. Okay. It's alphabetical order. It's not actually totally screwed. So maybe somebody thought it was broken. And yes, you have to uncheck the show gear as outfit. And yes, that is something that they're looking at. But the rest of it's good. So why do you have to title your feedback as a feedback new outfit or not good? It's fine. It's fine.
I think anything that gives us a little bit more control over where and what and in what order is good. I
Yeah.
realize that they,
It's not some
for whatever
huge
reason,
thing.
can't allow us to sort or search inventory. So every time they do like a subsystem of stuff that is able to do that, it takes a little bit of a weight off that
Yeah.
that central problem.
And you now get 32 outfit slots.
Right.
You can go up to 32.
Which is brilliant because,
001 through 0032.
I mean, tonight for ops, we had a break and people were lagging coming back because they were involved in the outfitter and
Yeah.
fixing their outfits. That's a big part of the game, and having 32 outfits is way better than 16.
Yes.
I'm a,
Yes, it
I'm a
is.
maximalist apparently.
It's twice as good.
It's twice as better.
If you do the math, I mean, it's tough to calculate, but it's apparently it's twice as good. Yeah. Again, this wasn't supposed to be some huge giant thing, so take it for what it is and enjoy it. Enjoy. I do. I'm enjoying it. So that brings us to Galactic Season 3. Galactic Season 3 kind of got a little bit broken on Tuesday. It seems completely fine now, so I don't know what problems they ran into on Tuesday, but they did manage to get it out Thursday morning, which we really appreciated because then we could talk about it on the podcast. So,
Yeah.
We both started it off, didn't we, Seema? We've got our
Yep.
Fae companions out, which is one of the first steps. So why don't you talk about what you had to do to kick it off? Because it's not really clear how you start.
So the way I did it, which might not be what you have to do, but I went and made sure I got the first level of Galactic Seasons done first,
Yes.
and then I took the item from that, which is the Phalanx Protocol lockbox.
Yes.
Which I clicked on that. It gave me basically, I think, 2 items. One of them's called the game authorization code, which you can click on and get the companion without going through the little story piece. But I clicked on the other thing, which gave me a quest, and that's what I did. I did like
Yeah.
this week or however long it's going to be amount of the quest, which is basically it introduced me to her, and this is why I said um, earlier that she has a pretty impressive backstory.
Right.
Basically, yeah, I don't want to say anything more about that because just it's very early days, and
Okay.
yeah, go ahead and read it yourself. But
And I've got it recorded, so we'll probably talk about it next week. So maybe we'll give spoiler warnings when we do go into it next week. But yeah, so as you said, that's the way to kick it off, and that's key. So you have if you bring up your conquest objective page and you look at the so not even the login rewards page, the conquest objective page, you hit L, click on the conquest tab, and then the tab within the tab that says season objectives, you'll see the season objectives for the week. You need to do 1 or 2 of the season objectives to unlock level 1 of the Galactic season. Or pay 100 cartel coins to unlock level 1 of the Galactic season.
But don't do that.
But don't do that because you just do like one thing. If you just do like one thing, like kill the 2 world bosses on Hoth, you'll get up to like you'll get up to like rank 3. Then when you do that, then click on the little check mark box with the daily login rewards and the Galactic season rewards tab. That's up in that little daily bar where it says how many mails you have. Then you'll see the levels. And as Seema said, that's what you do. Then in level 1, you'll have the claim button after you've completed level 1 to get Fae. So Phalanx, like she said, you can call me Fae. And you get if you're a subscriber, you also get the mount. I'll show you the mount here in a second. But once you get Fae, then you don't use what you want to do is you want to use the alert. Because then the alert tells you the story. You get a little bit of the backstory. You get a little bit of you have to go off and do a little bit of a thing. That alert will tell you to go find this contact, and that's how you get introduced to Fae. And then you got to go do a little bit of setup with Fae, and then now you've got Fae, you'll notice there are objectives in the season objective list that require you to have Fae. Like this one, integrity of the G.A.M.E. So that's the Gamblers Association something. They wanted it to spell game. But this one is
Management Enterprise or something.
This one says you have to catch gamblers that are acting suspicious in the cantinas and casinos. So catching gamblers that are acting suspicious, you have to have Faye out with you. And then when you find one of these suspicious gamblers, you'll get an extra action button that will pop up. You click that extra action button and you will catch them cheating. You need to catch 20 of them throughout the week. And apparently it's a little more difficult than it sounds. They're sort of few and far between. So finding them, waiting for them to spawn, finding all the places that they spawn, checking them out. That's something you will either need to like discover yourself or track down with other people. There's people already posting ideal locations to find these gamblers, but they have long respawn times. They're not always there, so you might need to wait. Pro tip, especially in the places where it's safe because it's single faction, going to a PvP instance is a fine way to find a map that's usually less populated and potentially find gamblers then that if there's less people around. But chat room Starry Saber is saying it takes usually around 5 minutes for a respawn. So doing 20 of them might take you some time. There are places though where there are 2 or 3 spawn points in a room. So you could potentially be tracking those down as well. Upside, you get to visit some cantinas. We always like to know, will there be your cantina?
Yes, I should take Nico with me when I go. No, I need to take Faye.
Then, yeah, you need to take Faye. And then you bring out Nico and have a drink with Nico before you leave. I wonder if there's one in that cantina on Meksha, the promenade, the one in the... Now I forgot the name, but I like that one. That's one of my favorite ones. You know, the little side cantina on Osis is also no, not Osis. Onderon. Onderon on the Imperial side, right outside the hunting lodge, there's a cantina off the courtyard.
Oh,
just like
right.
a little side one with an open
yes,
air.
like with like little open air one.
Yeah,
that's
I really
you're,
like that
you're
one.
right.
Second thing that you'll then want to start doing is looking at all of the objectives for that season objectives. There's a daily one, which is just get 25,000 conquest points on any of your characters added up. You get 25. That's the daily. So you could do that 7 times during the week. Then there's the weekly, which is, so I think the daily, yeah, you get 2 points and you get 2 game analysis modules. We'll talk about those in a second, but those are like the syndicate plans. But the 2 season points, that's the number of points you need to get up to, help you get to the next rank. So you can get 2 a day for doing the daily, which is just 25,000 conquest points. Then you can get points for doing up to 7 of the weekly objectives. 7 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7 out of 10. We'll go into these in more detail next week, but 7 out of 10. Some of them are 12 points and some of them are 8 points. So you may want to look into that. If you want to maximize, make sure you do all the 12-point ones and then fill in with 8-point ones. And this week, these things change from week to week as well. So check that out.
I'll just point out that if you do maximize that way, all that gets you is you run out of things to do sooner.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, you just finish the season slightly faster. And if you're doing this on a regular basis and only doing like half of the objectives, you'll still finish the season ahead of time. And then the only other thing, and we'll give more tips and tricks on all of this next week, and we'll point out the places to find the gamblers and that kind of thing. But the game analysis modules are like the syndicate plans, and there is a reputation associated with them, and there is a meta achievement. And the reputation and the meta achievement do require you to do 100 total weekly objectives, I believe is part of it, and getting to legendary on the reputation. Again, this season, there's a cap of 5,000 reputation points a week. That means you need to do this about 15 weeks in a row, or 15 weeks total all across the season. And there's many more than 15 weeks. Not like you're if you miss a week, you're out. It's still probably only half the weeks. But you can't like put it off and forget about it and forget that there's a cap. And with 5 weeks to go, realize you have 7 weeks worth of, 35,000 points that you still need to get, and you won't be able to
Right.
finish it like what we did for season 2.
Right.
So keep an eye on that as well. But then there's also just the other fun tricks you can do with getting that reputation, because the first time you do it each day on a different character, you get 49,000 conquest points if you turn in a rep token. So you can spread that out on characters, but still make sure you're maxing out each week if you want to get to legendary in a reasonable amount of time as well. And we'll give you more tips on that next week as well. So yeah, it's kicked off. It's here. It's stuff to do. And I'm feeling it. Are you feeling it, Seema?
Yeah, for sure.
You feeling me, Mr. Krabs?
I just want to know where these shady gamblers are.
Yeah, I haven't found one yet either, but I didn't look too hard since this is.
I just came to Onderon, and this little cantina here doesn't have any gamblers at all. It's just.
But somebody could have. If they have a 5-minute respawn, you might have to wait there for 5 minutes to actually make sure that they don't.
But there's just food. I mean, there's no card tables or.
No card tables or slot machines or anything like that.
Yeah, so I wonder.
Slippery Slopes on Arshada. I wonder if that's a good place. And as I said, the one on Mekshai, I think, has got a couple machines in it. We'll track it down.
Yes,
Tune in next week. We'll give you the lowdown. The 411 as this episode. The 411 on 711 is the name of this episode. And if you're not US based, you might not get what 411 is, but you still might, because I checked the Oxford English Dictionary has a definition for 411, which says that it's information. In the US, when you dial 411 on most phones, especially in the old days, I don't know if it works on cell phones.
I don't either. Yeah.
In the old days, on regular landline phones, you dial 411 and you get to information. You can ask questions like, "What's the number for 911? I forgot. It's an emergency. Quick, tell me the number for 911." So 411 is information. So this is the 411 on the 711. The other thing, the reason I'm going off on this, is the dictionary definition also gave an example, and it cracked me up. The example sentence is, "When guys come to you for the 411 on your friend, tell them they should talk to her."
I like how in the 20s voice comes out for that one.
Well, that's kind of what it's. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta get that feel on it.
It does.
When the fellas come around to give you the asking for the 411 on that dame, tell them they should talk to the dame themselves. Fella, yeah.
This band in the Slippery Slopes Cantina is called the South Sector Boppers.
Sweet. Slippery Slopes Cantina is a classic cantina that's one of my favorite ones in the game. And we've had parties there. And if you're really tricky about it, you can get up to the balcony, which is sort of out of bounds. And it's even the drawing and rendering up there is a little bit weird. But you can get up there, and we've taken pictures of having parties up on the balcony in Slippery Slopes. But yeah, so this is the 411 and the 711. Next week, we'll give you the full secrets and details on the Galactic season. But yeah, it's a fun kickoff. And
there's 3 NPCs in the corner here, and one of them's named Spice Lord Joy, and one's named Spice Lord Love, and one's named Krata.
Really? Love and Joy. I wonder if that's a reference. Get those little Easter egg buried references in here and there. Like the Night at the Roxbury guys on Hutta that are dancing on Hutta that you can go find. Which is kind of hilarious. So cool.
Southside Boppers does sound like a 20s band.
Hey, they're the bee's knees. Come see the Southside Boppers in the Slippery Slopes Cantina. Yep.
I just tried to close your Galactic Seasons window. It didn't work.
So yeah, I'm glad we've got Galactic Season. I'm glad we've got stuff to do. It always surprises me how fun it is.
Yeah.
It's a way they trick you into having fun, but we always say if a game tricks you into having fun, well, you had fun. and,
Right.
and it did its job. So I appreciate that. And yeah, I will be in this weekend run flashpoints because that's the thing we got to do this week. There's a 12-point objective, 2 of them for running flashpoints in a certain way, which is a little bit different. You have to run a particular flashpoint and the bonus boss. And I think just doing 1 flashpoint in one category completes an objective, and 1 flashpoint with the bonus boss in another category completes an objective. Some bonus bosses are only in master mode, so you're going to have to check that depending on which one you pick. Some also have a bonus boss available in veteran mode, but not very many.
We're going to try and poke around with those on the weekend.
Yeah, so I'll be running them this weekend. Definitely. Anything else, Seema, then, before we sort of wrap up here on the what we've got going on with our Galactic Seasons, and you and I get back to what we need to do to finish up for the week? I have more GSF to fly, too.
I think that's good. Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm going to do my method that's worked for me so far, which is I will do the ones I feel like doing. I'm hoping to get in on some Flashpoint action this weekend, though, for sure.
Sure, because that's a fun thing to do with friends.
Yeah, it is.
So there you go. All right. As we said, next week we'll go into much more detail, but for this week, I think we can take EPC 443 and kick it out an airlock and broadcast this episode to all of you out there. All the feed and subscribe links are on newoverlords.com and on YouTube/newoverlords. You can also come chat with us in our Discord, which is newoverlords.com/Discord. Follow on Twitter at Max the Gray and at the New Overlords, and we'll keep you up to date there too. I put slightly different things out on both of those feeds, but also they retweet each other quite a bit. It's me and the New Overlords feed, but more of just the feedy type stuff goes on the New Overlords, and then me chatting on various things happens on Max the Gray. For Alea Iacta Est Guild information, we are on Starforge on both the Republic and the Imperial side, and in a whole bunch of other games. Things like New World, everybody's sort of popping back in there to see what's going on. Some new games that are launching here and there. You can check out everything that we do at aie-guild.org, and there is a Discord link in the upper right on our guild website. Everything is really happening in Discord, and that's where you would jump in to ask us for a guild invite. On the Republic and the Imperial side, we would be happy to get you that invite, get you in for Total Galactic War next week, for our mandatory fun nights. Come and join. And with that, we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.